We said, what is noon sakina? Do you remember? By the way, this chapter is considered as the most important chapter ever in Tajweed. So
Okay.
we should understand it. So
Yes.
if you remember, we discussed this title. What does the word noon sakina mean? Noon with a sukoon, and we said that this noon sakina and tanween has uh, multiple multiple forms in Quran. You can see it like this, okay, this with this form, or you can see it with this form, or with this form, okay.
Yeah.
So these are the forms of noon sakina. What does noon sakina and tanween mean, or just what does the word noon sakina mean? Noon in the sukoon state, okay. Noon which has no haraka. Sukoon, sakina is the adjective of the word sukoon, and sakin means has a sukoon, okay. And
Yeah.
sukoon means no haraka. Sukoon means no haraka, no fatha, no kasra, no dhamma, okay. So this noon doesn't have a haraka, right? This noon doesn't have a haraka. It's with a sukoon sign. And this noon doesn't have a haraka as well. It's sakina. But in this case, it's with a small meme, and we're gonna discuss this in detail. So this is what does the word noon sakina mean. Simply, it's the letter noon in the sukoon state. What does sukoon state mean? Sukoon state means no haraka, no fatha, no kasra, no dhamma. So it's pronounced as an sound, not na or ni or nu, just an. No haraka, no fatha. Haraka means fatha, kasra, or dhamma. So no, we don't say na, ni, or nu. No, we don't pronounce it with a haraka. We just make it sakina, which means no
Yeah.
haraka. How about
Okay.
tanween mean? Tanween is the sound of noon when it's in the sukoon state. Not in general, no. The sound of noon when it's in the sukoon state. And if you remember, we said each letter has a unique sound in Arabic language. Like if you remember, Hamza's fatha gives a sound, and this sound is unique. What does it mean? That means you cannot get the sound of a from any letter else, just with this letter when it's with a fatha. A, a. So this is what does the word unique sound mean. You cannot get its sound from anywhere else or from any letter else. Just this letter with fatha gives you a. Same for ba. This is a unique sound. Same for b, for example, or boo. You know, unique sounds. Same for ta. Same for all the letters except one letter. What is this letter? Noon. And not any noon. Not the normal noon. No, just noon in the sukoon state. Okay? So
Yeah.
noon in the sukoon state doesn't have a unique sound. Actually, you can get the sound of noon when it's in the sukoon state from another way, which we call it the way of tanween. So noon sakina, the sound of noon sakina, you can get it from noon in the sukoon state, and you can get it from tanween as well. Get my point? It's double, not unique. So
Okay.
that's why we put noon sakina and tanween under the same, like in the same title under the same rules. Okay. So, and as you know, tanween is not considered as a letter. Noon sakina is a letter, but tanween is not a letter. By the way, this is very important to know the difference. Noon sakina and here tanween. What's the difference? They both have the same sound, so no difference in the sound. But noon sakina is a letter from Arabic letters, Arabic alphabets, it's considered as a letter. But tanween is not a letter. Tanween is just a haraka, an extra haraka. Extra haraka. For example, the word rahimun. Rahimun. So rahimu, this word doesn't have tanween yet. When I put this one, the extra haraka, next to the original haraka at the end, it becomes tanween. It gives us the sound of noon sakina. An sound. An. An. Rahimun. Rahimun. You know? As you said,
Yeah.
ra, he, mu. Then add the sound of noon sakina, which we call it tanween. It becomes rahi, mun. Get my point? So
Yeah.
now I just canceled noon sakina, and I put instead of it, I put an extra haraka, an extra dhamma next to the original dhamma. So this is called tanween. It's just considered as an extra haraka, not a letter as we did. So what does it mean when we say it's not a letter? So that means you can cancel it. Sometimes if we stop, like for example, the word rahimun. How to stop on rahimun? We say rahim, right? So in case we stop, we cancel tanween. Cancel tanween. Correct?
Yeah.
But in case we stop, do we cancel noon sakina? Like for example, the word man aman. So this is noon sakina. In case we stop, do we cancel noon sakina? No, we don't cancel it. We just pronounce it man.
Yeah.
But in case we stop on tanween, we need to cancel it. We need to say rahimun if we're gonna carry on. If we stop,
Yeah.
rahim. So this is the difference. Get my point? Also, tanween comes only with nouns, but noon sakana comes with prepositions, with verbs, with nouns, adjectives, and like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, Anyways, now let's speak about the rules of noon sakana and tanween. So this is what does the word noon sakana and tanween mean. Now let's know the rules of noon sakana and tanween. We said how many rules do we have? Four rules, right?
Yeah.
Idgham, then iqlab, then izhar, finally ikhfa. Okay. So what does the word idgham mean? As we said, idgham, in the literally translation, the translation of idgham in the dictionaries and like this, it means to merge, to insert or to merge two things together. But practically, it means to cancel. Okay? It depends, complete cancellation or not complete cancellation. Iqlab means to change or to turn over, change. Izhar means to make something clear, to make clear. Ikhfa is the opposite of izhar, to hide, to not make it clear. Not hide or not make it clear means apply ghunna. Okay? So, what does idgham mean? Idgham means to cancel. To cancel what? Well, all these rules have to be applied on noon sakina and tanween. So when we say idgham means to cancel, that means to cancel noon or tanween. Iqlab means to change, that means to change noon or tanween. Izhar means to make something clear, that means to make noon or tanween clear. Ikhfa means to hide, that means to hide noon, sakina or tanween. So these rules are applied on noon, sakina and tanween. So these rules applied on noon, sakina and tanween. Okay? How we differentiate between them? When should we apply idgham and when should we apply iqlab? When should we apply izhar? And same for ikhfa. Actually, each rule has its own evidence. Whenever and wherever we see its evidence, we need to apply it. So when should we apply idgham? Whenever and wherever we have the evidence of idgham. When should we apply iqlab? If we have the evidence of iqlab. Well, so the most important thing is to know the evidence of each rule, right? If you remember, we start speaking about idgham in the previous session, idgham,
Yeah. Yeah.
and we said the evidence of idgham, evidence just like the sign of idgham. It's just like some letters. The letters of idgham that whenever and wherever we see these letters, one of these letters, we need to apply idgham. What are these letters? The word yarmalun. It's gathered in the word yarmalun. Yarmalun. So ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, and nun. So what's the relationship between these letters and nun sakina? The relation is, if we have two separate words, make sure that you have two separate words, because idgham doesn't work if we have only one word. Idgham, it's necessary for idgham to be applied if we have two words, not only one word. Okay, so in case we have two separate words, the first word ends with nun sakina or tanween, nun or tanween, and the second word starts with one of these six letters, yarmalun, yarmalun. In this case, we need to apply idgham. So when should we apply idgham in Quran? In the Quran, we apply idgham if we have two separate words. The first word ends with nun sakina. The second word starts with one from your malun letters. Get my point? In
Yeah.
this case, we need to apply idgham in case we carry on. In case we keep reading. Get my point? But if we stop, no idgham. So idgham happens in two separate words. Idgham happens in wasl case. Wasl means when we join. In joining case. So if we stop, no idgham. So when we stop, in case we stop, no idgham. Okay? And in case we have idgham, but in one word, like we have noon sakina, and after noon, we have, for example, waw or ya, but it's in one word, we don't apply idgham. Get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, very good. The form of idgham in Quran is just noon like this. Doesn't carry any sound, or sorry, doesn't carry any haraka. I mean any simple. Like now this is called sakina, right? Noon sakina. And this is also called noon sakina in the Quran, as we agreed. But no, whenever use these forms with idgham, we use this one with the rule of idhar, and this one the rule of ikhfa. Sorry, iqlab. Remember the rules again. So idgham, the form of idgham is just like this, noon like this. The form of iqlab, noon like this. It's important to know the forms in Quran. The form of idhar, noon like this. The form of ikhfa, same like idgham, noon like this. Okay. How about tanween? This is for noon second. How about tanween? For idgham, you see the tanween like this. You know, for iqlab, you see it like this. For idhar, you can see it like this or like this, cover dhamma. For ikhfa, same. You make it like this. So look at the difference. Here, same. Idgham, same like ikhfa, by the way. Look at the difference here. The form of tanween for idhar and the form of tanween for ikhfa. Different, not same. Right? And look at here the form, not same. Get my point? Anyways, it's not necessary to focus on the forms. If you know the evidence, the letters of each rule, you will apply it simply, inshallah. So let's know that if we have idgham, we must find noon sakina with this form, okay? And how about tanween with this form, okay? Then it's important to know the types. We said we have two types for idgham. We have complete idgham, which we call it Idgham Kamil in Arabic, and here Idgham Naqis. Naqis means not complete. Not complete idgham. Idgham means cancel, right? Cancellation. So complete cancellation not complete cancellation. What are the letters of idgham in the case of complete? Complete cancellation, the letters are 4. Lam, Ra, Mim, and Noon. Right? What is the rule? The rule says if I have two separate words, the first word ends with Noon Sakina, and we agreed the form of Noon Sakina should be like this. And the second word starts with one of these 4 letters, Lam, Ra, Mim, and Noon. In this case, what should we do? In case we make wasl, as we agreed, in case we join, in case we keep reading, we need to simply cancel Noon Sakina. And this is called complete cancellation. You need to cancel the Noon and also cancel its characteristics. You know, each letter, just to know, this is very important, each letter in Qur'an has 2 things. Has the form and the characteristics. Okay? So the form, how it looks like in Quran. The characteristics, how we pronounce it, the pronunciation, or we call it the makhraj. The maybe the attributes, like for example the ghunnah, okay, or the mad, it's light or heavy letter, you know, and so on. So the characteristics and the form. When should we cancel both of them? In the case of complete, we cancel both the form and the characteristics. In the case of not complete, we cancel only the form. That's why it's no complete cancellation. We need to apply its characteristics, but we don't save its form. We need to cancel it. But in the case of complete, we need to cancel both of them. So if we get back here, if we have Noon Sakina and the next letter, one of your maloon, I mean one of these 4 letters, so this is idgham, and this idgham is complete. What does it mean? Complete means we completely cancel the Noon, cancel the form and the characteristics, right? What should we do next? We need to double the next letter. If it's 1 lam, make it 2 lam. I mean put a shadda. If it's 1 lam, make it 2. 1 ra, make it 2. 1 mim, make it 2. 1 noon, make it 2. Okay? Just it. So these are the steps. Again, min ladunhu. What is this rule? This is idgham. Why this is idgham? Because we have 2 separate words, right? We have 2 separate words. The first word ends with noon sakina, right? This is noon sakina with this form, as we agreed, right? Doesn't have any sample on the top. And the next word, as you see, the following word starts with lam. Lam, one from yarmalun. So this is idgham. One from lam, ra, mim, and noon. So this is complete. Well, so in case I make wasl, in case I join, which is the default way, what should I do? I need to completely cancel the noon and its characteristics. So no noon at all. So what should we do next? We simply put a shadda with the next letter. Make it twice. Instead of this cancelled letter, make the next one 2 letters instead of 1. So it becomes 2 lambs now. So let's rewrite this. It becomes 1 meme with a kasra, then 2 lambs. Right? So how should it be? Milladunhu. Milladunhu. Milla. Milla. 2 lambs here, right? This shadda means 2 lambs. 1 sukoon, then 1 with fatha. Milladunhu. When should we apply this noon? In case we stop. If we stop, it becomes min. So this noon is applied, no cancellation. Because we said idgham happens only if we make wasl.
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Another example. say, for example, عن ربهم. عن ربهم. So what is this? This is idgham. Why this is idgham? Because we have two separate words. First word ends with noon sakina with this form. The second word starts with ra, one of yarmaloon. What are idgham letters? Remember, yarmaloon. If we have noon sakina and the second letter is one of yarmaloon letters, so this is idgham, correct? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Listening.
yeah. So what is this rule? You hear me?
Yeah, I can. So that's right?
Yeah, no, I'm speaking about the rule first. What is this rule? This is idgham. Why this is
Yeah.
idgham? Because we have two separate words. The first word ends with noon sakina, and the second
Yeah.
word starts with ra. Ra is one from your maloon. That's why this is the rule of idgham. Correct?
Yes.
Also, don't forget to check the form of noon. We said
Yeah.
it must be like this, with no haraka, even with
Yes.
no the sukoon sign. So
So on this one you join, yeah? So you can be
yeah, exactly correct. So this is complete or not complete?
it is
It depends on this letter.
yeah.
Remember complete
This
letters?
is
Lam,
complete.
ra.
This is
Yeah,
complete with the
yeah.
rider.
Excellent. So what does the word complete mean? That means we need to completely cancel the noon and its
Yeah.
characteristic, cancel the form and the characteristics. And join
Yeah.
ra, join ain to ra, and don't forget to make ra 2.
Yeah.
Now double the ra. It becomes arra, arrabbihim, arrabbihim, arrabbihim. Correct? When should we
Yeah.
apply this noun? In case we stop, it becomes an, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How about this one? Look at this, it's tricky. An ma. What is this rule? We have two separate words. The first word ends with noon second and with this form. The second starts with meme. One of your maloon. So this is idgham. And also idgham kamil, complete. So what should I do? I completely cancel the noon and
Yeah.
its characteristics and I double the next letter, which is meme. But look at
Um.
this. Now we have meme with a shadda. What does it mean? That means we need to apply ghunna.
Yeah.
So don't forget this.
Uh,
Exactly correct. So with meme and noon with shadda, we need to apply
yeah.
ghunna.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah. Look at this one. Min ni'matin, for example. Min ni'matin. So what is this rule? This is idgham. Why idgham? I'm keep repeating to memorize. So we have two separate words. The first word ends with noon sakina. The second starts with another noon. And this noon is one from idgham. Yeah. What are the idgham letters? Yarmaloon. Yarmaloon ends with noon. So that's why this is the evidence of,
Yarmalud.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
Yarmalud.
idgham kamil, right? Idgham kamil. Why
I
idgham
understand.
kamil? The letters of idgham kamil, lam, ra, mim, and noon. With
So
mim and noon, we make ghunna.
every time you put a gun on it,
Yeah,
so every time you put a joining thing on it, you got to do a gun on it on the meme and
exactly
noon.
correct. Yeah, in case we make wasl, in case we apply idgham.
I never ever understood that in my whole life. Now I understand.
Alhamdulillah. So why we make ghunna? Because now it was before idgham, it was one noon. But when we add idgham, I mean when we apply idgham, it becomes two noons. We add the shadda usually, right? We make it with
Yes.
shadda. So now, by the way, we call idgham joining, or idgham means merging or mixing or inserting, because some scholars said, you know what we do? We just inserting these two noons together. It becomes one
Yeah.
noon with a shadda. That's why. So it
Yeah.
becomes minni. Don't forget the ghunna. No noon. This is cancelled. It becomes me. Then put this word ni'matin. Becomes min ni'matin. Get my point?
Yeah. No, I do.
Yeah. Okay. This is for noon sakina. Same for tanween. Like for example, غفور غفور رحيم. So what is this rule? We have tanween. Don't forget tanween is the extra حركة. We have tanween, and after tanween we have ra in two separate words. So we have two separate words. The first word ends with tanween, noon sakina or tanween. The second word starts with ra. So what are idgham letters again? Yarmalun. So after tanween we have ra. Remember we said here here the relationship between yarmalun and noon or tanween. We said if we have noon or tanween, and the next word starts with one of these 6 letters, so we need to apply idgham, right? You remember this?
Okay.
Yeah. So here same. We have two separate words. The first word ends with tanween. The second starts with ra. So this is complete. Why complete? Because lam, ra, mim, and noon from complete letters. What should we do? We simply cancel tanween at all. Then what should we do? We repeat the ra. We
Yeah.
double it. It becomes ha. Can you tell me how should we do it? How many ghayns do we have? Just one ghayn. One fa with dhamma. I'm just copying this word. Then waw. Then ra. Only with a dhamma. No tanween. Tanween is cancelled. Then we have two ra's now. Correct?
Yeah.
So no tanween. And here I just add a shadda. So we have 3 ra's in a row. Right? غفور را 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 غفور رحيم.
Rurra.
Yeah, exactly. Great. Where is tanween? Where is the tanween cancelled? Why cancelled? Because of the reason of idgham.
Yeah.
By the way, this idgham we don't apply it even if we stop. If we stop, we never apply we never apply idgham, right? But if we stop, we say غفور. Correct? So
Yeah.
even if we stop, we don't apply this idgham. So this idgham is not applied in both cases, in wasl case or waqf. If we stop or keep on going. Why? Because if we keep on going, it becomes idgham. Idgham means cancel. And if we stop, we cancel the idgham to be able to stop. غفور like this. Like this. Rahim. By the way, this is rahimun. But when we stop, we say rahim. That's why I didn't write the tanween. Get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah, so this tanween, they call it the did tanween. Why? Because we never apply it, even if we stop. In both cases, never applied. Get my point?
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
Yeah. So this is for tanween. Same if we have tanween with with maybe noon or meme after. It becomes the same, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The second type for not complete. This, not complete. This type, remember, in complete, we said each letter has 2 things. Remember? Has the form and the characteristics. For not complete, we cancel only the form, but we apply the characteristics. Okay? For complete, we cancel both. We cancel the form and the characteristics. But for not complete, we cancel on. That's why not complete idgham, not complete cancellation, because we cancel one of them and we leave another. Get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take an example to understand. What are the letters of idgham not complete? Can you tell me?
So
Well, what are idgham letters? Yarmalun.
Yarmalun. Yeah.
Yarmalun. The whole letters. Yarmalun.
Yes.
Can you tell me complete idgham? Complete letters. The complete letters.
These are the complete ones. Ya, Ra,
Lam, Ra,
Lam.
Mim, and Noon. So
Yarmalun. Yeah.
Lam. Sorry.
So sorry.
Ra, Mim, Lam, and Noon. So the rest for not complete. Ya and Wow. This is for not complete. So what are the complete letters and what are the not complete letters?
It's a complete Lam, Ra, Mim, Nun.
Yes. Yeah. For complete letters, Lam Ra, Mim, and Noon. For not complete letters, Ya and Waw. Okay, what's the idea for not complete? For complete, if you remember, I'm repeating again, for complete, if we have two separate words, the first word ends with Noon or Tanween, the second word starts with maybe Lam, one of these four letters, Lam, Ra, Mim, and Noon, we were simply canceling Noon or Tanween and repeating the second, right? How about for the not complete? You hear me, right?
Yeah.
Not complete. For not complete, it's tricky. Why? Same if we have two separate words. The first word ends with noon sakina or tanween. The second starts with waw or ya. Don't forget the letters of not complete, waw or ya. Okay? Yeah, this is ya, not hamza. So in this case, what should we do? As we said, don't forget that we, when we want to when we want to apply idgham, we need to cancel. We need to cancel noon or tanween. But this cancellation is special because we never cancel the form and the characteristics. No, we cancel only the form. But how to still apply its characteristics? The letter itself is cancelled, right? The letter itself is cancelled. So how you apply its characteristics? We apply it with the next letter. So the characteristics of noon are applied with the next letter. An example to understand. Min wal. Min wal. What is this? This is idgham. Why this is idgham? Because we have two separate words. The first
Mm.
word ends with noon sakina with this form. The second word starts with waw. Waw from yarmaloon. Yarmaloon.
Mm.
Also waw from waw and ya, which is not complete. Once I know this is not complete, what should I do? Do you know? I need to make sure that when I cancel, I never cancel the noun and its characteristics. No, I cancel only the form of the noun. How about the characteristics? I'm gonna apply the characteristics with the next letter, with this wow. Get my point? So what
Yeah.
are the characteristics? Actually, غنة here, غنة, and sukun, and it's a light letter. Maybe, get my point? So these characteristics applied on this wow. But this wow is already with its characteristics, right? This wow with its characteristics. It has its own characteristics. So what should I do? I add another wow and apply these characteristics with the added wow. You understand?
Yeah.
For complete, we were adding a letter. Like if you remember an or min ladunhu, the same example, min ladunhu. We were canceling this and adding lam, right? Becomes two
Yeah.
lambs. This is same we do, but with this added lam for not complete, with this added lam, we will apply the characteristics of noon. Get my point? How to do
Mhm.
this? So here complete, let's here say complete, and here not complete. Let's take this example, min wal. So this is idgham. What should I do? I cancel only the form. How about the characteristics? What are the characteristics? غنة and sukun. And it's a light letter. Okay? So now no noon. So it becomes me. But instead of this noon, I'm gonna add another wow. Okay? Not this wow. No, this wow with its own characteristics. I'm gonna add another wow and give it the characteristics of noon. What are the characteristics of noon? Sukun with غنة. Then put this word as it is, don't change it. With this wow, I apply the ghunnah and the sukun. And don't forget, we when we apply the ghunnah, we apply it because it's from the characteristics of noon. So we are trying to merge noon with waw. It becomes miwal, miwal. The characteristics of noon applied with this waw. Get my point?
Yeah.
Miwal, miwal. So we just created another letter, a new letter. This letter consists of two things: the form and the characteristics, right? The form is waw. The characteristics of noon: غنة and sukun, and it's a light letter. Get my point? So this added letter has these two things, has the form of waw. Why waw? Because the second letter was waw. If it's ya, we're gonna add ya, not waw. Ya or waw with the characteristics of noon. So it becomes like this: miwal. If we stop, we never do anything. We just say min, clear this noon, apply it. Okay? Understood?
Understood.
Another example. من يعمل من يعمل. So look at this. This is idgham. Why this is idgham? Because we have two separate words. The first word ends with noon sakina, with this form as you see. This noon doesn't have the sukun, doesn't have the meme, with this form as we agreed. The second word starts with ya. So this is idgham, not iqlab, not ikhfa. No, this is idgham. Why idgham? Because this is ya from yarmalun. Yarmalun starts with ya. And also from not complete, because not complete, wow and ya. Well, so what should I do? I simply cancel the noon, but not complete cancellation. Focus. I need to apply its characteristics. With which letter I apply its characteristics? With which letter I need to apply the characteristics of noon? With another ya. Why ya? Because the next letter is ya, which comes after noon or sakina. Noon sakina. So it becomes like this. Ma. Then put ya and give it the characteristics of noon. We agreed. What are the characteristics of noon? Ghunna and sukun. So this one, sakina with ghunna. Okay? Then put this word as it is. We never change this word. Okay? So it becomes ya'mal. Don't forget the ghunna here. So can you read this? من يعمل من يعمل.
من يعمل.
Perfect. Understood?
Yeah.
How about for tanween? For tanween, same. برق برق يجعلون يجعلون. What should I do in this case? Now we have tanween, and after tanween we have ya. Correct?
Yes.
So this is idgham, not complete. Naqis. Not complete means naqis. Naqis.
Naqis.
So what should I do? I canceled this wow, but no complete cancellation. Why?
Yeah.
Because I still need to apply the ghunna on this ya, but not this ya. I'm gonna add another ya. Why we add another ya? Because this ya already with characteristics, already with its own characteristics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why we are not allowed to make two different characteristics, two different sets of characteristics with the same letter. So we need to add another ya and give it the characteristics of noon sakina, because tanween is noon sakina as we agreed. What are the characteristics of noon sakina? Huh? Ghunna and sakina. So
Yeah.
it becomes barqu. Now this qaf only with waw. Then join to this ya with ghunna, then put this word as it is. We never change it. يجعلون. Can you read it? برقي برقي يجعلون. Don't forget the qalqala here.
برقي.
Yeah, برقي يجعلون.
Why are you doing a good now on the yeah?
We said the characteristics of noon are 3. Remember them? غنة, سكون, and it's light. Same. Why here we did غنة with this yeah? Why? Because we apply this yeah with the characteristics of noon. What are the characteristics of noon? Tell me.
No.
غنة, yeah. And it's sakina in this case.
Yeah.
Right? And it's light, not heavy. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, just it. So, can you tell me what are the letters of idgham with غنة? Idgham
So
with
yeah,
غنة letters?
Noon and Mim.
Perfect. Noon and mim and ya and waw.
Yeah.
In both types, idgham with غنة letters, we have mim and noon from complete. Right?
Yeah.
And we have waw and ya from not complete. Now let's know the rules of idgham in this surah, Surah Al-Balad. You tell me, do we have idgham in the first line, in the first ayah first? Do we have idgham in this ayah?
Let me check.
We have noon sakina or tanween? No, so we don't have
No,
idgham. Yeah.
we don't know.
Do we have idgham here in this ayah?
I think
We have noon sakina?
yes.
Where is noon sakina?
What's that? Yeah,
Perfect.
that one. Yeah, that one there.
This is noon sakina. Perfect. What's the next letter? From the next
That.
letter we know the rule. The next letter, what is the next letter?
That.
Ta. Is it from the rules? Is it from the letters of noon sakina?
No.
Sorry, is it from the letters of idgham?
No, it's not.
So it's not idgham. It's something called ikhfa. So this is
It's
not
fine.
our type. Also here we have tanween. Right? This is the form of tanween. But with the ba after. What's the next letter? As I told you, how we know idgham? If we have noon sakina or tanween at the end of the first word, and the second word starts with what? Starts with yarmaloon letters. One of yarmaloon, ya, ra, mim, lam, waw, and noon. So here we have noon sakina, but the next letter is ta. Let's say the next letter was one of yarmaloon. Do we need to apply idgham in this word? If the
Yes.
next no, because it's only in one word.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. Yeah, I get it.
We only apply idgham if we have two separate words. Okay, so now we have tanween, but after tanween we have ba. So it's not our rule. This is called iqlab. Well, how about the third ayah? Let's now clean this again. Then the third ayah. This ayah. Do we have idgham in this ayah?
I'm just checking.
This one.
I don't think so.
Why? How we know idgham?
There's
From
no
noon
noon.
sakina or tanween. Don't
Tanween.
forget. Well, but we have
So we
tanween
do.
here.
We do then.
And after tanween, what do we have? Wow. So this is idgham, brother. Right? Noon sakina or tanween. Now we have tanween. And the next word, look at this in two separate words. And the next word starts with waw. One from your maloon letters. So this is idgham. This is kamil or naqis, complete or not complete?
It is complete.
What are no complete? Lam, ra, mim, and noon. Not complete, waw, and ya. So this is not complete. Well, once I know this is not complete, what should I do? I need to cancel idgham.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, I need to add another wow to apply the characteristics of nun sakina on it. So it becomes wawalidi, no tanween now, no in sound. We don't say wawalidin, wrong. We say wawalidi. Then join to this waw sakina, right? Wawalidiw, diw. Let's write it. Wa, wa, li,
دوما.
diw. Perfect. This wow, the added wow, will take the characteristics of nun sakina. So it's gonna be sakina with ghunna. Don't forget. So wawalidiw, not just wawalidiw. من غنة ووالديو. Then read this word as it is. We never change it. ووالديو وما. Why we added wow here? Because the next letter was wow. This one. Get my point? But
Yeah.
let's say we're gonna stop. What should we do if we stop in between these two words? We stop after the dal. We say ووالد, no tanween. As we agreed, this tanween is not applied in both cases. Not applied. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, applied. So in this case, we say ووالد make qalqala with this dal because we're gonna stop. Understood?
Understood.
Yeah. So let's remove this. This ayah, do we have tanween? I don't know. I need to check. Do we have noon sakina?
I'm checking.
We
We've
know
got.
tanween from noon sakina and tanween. Sorry, we
We
know
do have.
idgham from noon
We
sakina
do.
and tanween.
We do have noon sakin.
Where? Exactly
Uh,
correct. This noon
there.
and after the noon we have seen. Okay,
Yeah.
this is idgham. How we know? From two things. First, from the form of idgham. This is the form of idgham. This
Mm.
noon is from the form of idgham. Doesn't have a simple.
Mm.
But wait, this noon is in one word or two separate words? Noon
It's in.
is joined with seen in two separate words, in one
Yeah.
word. Noon
Yeah.
is joined with seen, noon with a seen after, but it's in the same word, which means no idgham. Let's say even if we have one from idgham letters after noon. By the way, after noon sakina we have seen, right?
Yes.
Seen is no from the letters of noon sakina. Is no from the
Correct.
letters of of idgham. Sorry.
Correct.
So this is not idgham. Here we have tanween, but not with one of Yermalun after. In this ayah, do we have idgham?
Yes.
Yeah. How many?
1, 2. We got 2.
Perfect. Two. Exactly correct. Alhamdulillah. Now we understand. This is complete. Now we have two separate words. Now we have noon sakina, and after noon we have lam in two separate words. And this noon doesn't have a simple on the top. So we never apply it. We just cancel it, and we double the second letter. Look at
Yes.
this.
So is that so that's يحسب ال.
Allah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Allah. And look at this. Again, we have noon sakina with the ya after in two separate words. So this is idgham, but here not complete. Right? So what should we do? I also need to cancel the noon.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this is not complete. So add ya with ghunna. Ya sakina with ghunna. So this lam is joined to ya sakina with ghunna. So allay, allay, lay, ya sakina with ghunna, allay, allay. Then this
يقدر.
word yaqo. Don't forget the qalqala with this qaf.
يقدر.
Yeah. So now we have two separate words. The first word is with noon sakina. The second starts with ya. So this is not complete because this is ya. And the previous, we have two separate words. The first word ends with noon. The second starts with lam. So this
Correct.
is also idgham, but this idgham is complete and doesn't have ghunna, as you know. Okay, next. By the way, if we gotta carry on, we need to apply idgham. If we stop, no idgham, because we say ahad, we apply the qalqala and no idgham, right? Because no tanween. But if we carry on, if we join without stopping, you don't have to stop after the end of the ayah. If we join, Now we have idgham, and now we have tanween, and after tanween we have ya in two separate words. So this is idgham. In case you join, it becomes أحد يقول. Add ya, and with this ya, what should you do? You need to apply it sakina with غنة. أحد no idgham here. Cancel it. أحد sorry, no tanween. Cancel it. أحد يقول. Okay. Do we have
Yeah.
idgham again in this word? Tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, tanween with
Mm.
that with lam after in two separate words. So we never apply the tanween, and we double the second because this is complete. ما للو, three lambs now. ما للو بدا. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Next, do we have idgham in this word?
We do.
Where?
The noon.
Yeah, this is complete as well. ألا ألا ألم يره, like this. Get my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you tell me if we have idgham in this ayah?
We do.
Yeah, this is tanween, and after tanween we have waw in two separate words, and this is not complete. So what should we do? We just cancel the noon, cancel
Yeah.
the tanween. It becomes lisa wa lisana. Join to waw, but not this
No.
waw. I'm gonna add
No.
another waw, sakina with ghunna,
Yeah.
and join this noon with this waw. ولسانا وشفتين. Read this word, don't
Yeah.
change it.
Yeah.
ولسانا وشفتين. Understood?
Understood.